Hello, Klaus. I've read your task 4 and I have some comments for you. I'm looking um, at giving you some advice for the future, basically. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the editing phase. There are 3 phases in writing. There is the conceptualization and drafting phase, and there's the editing phase, and then finally a proofreading phase. When you edit, you try and make sure that the text is coherent, that there is a logical progression, that you have the relevant information. There's enough information for the reader to understand everything, but you also sometimes have to cut out information that suddenly don't seem as relevant. And sometimes you have to cut out things because you don't have the amount of words available to you. And sometimes you need to write more in order to create this cohesion. So that's the phase I'm going to focus on, because that is the one that you all seem to be struggling a little bit with. I will say, however, you have created a text that is much more reader-orientated this time around, because there is an introduction and there are subheadings. So this means that the reader is sort of guided through the text. So that's a very good beginning. In terms of the editing, I would, however, like you to consider your paragraphs. Some of them are too short. So I think what you do is basically you divide your topic sentence from the support and elaboration that belongs to that. So go back and revise it and look at what logically belongs together, and then just squish it up so that becomes a paragraph. Remember that layout is equally important to the reader, because that's how we orientate. That's the first kind of orientation that we do when we look at the page. We look at, okay, these are the chunks of information that I need to process. Firstly, I need to process this, then logically I need to process that, and that's going to go here, how does it go here, etc. So layout is really important. So if we've got this kind of fragmented text, you create a really kind of fragmented image or impression on the reader, and you don't want to do that, because that takes away from your credibility as a writer, and you don't want that. I will say, taking aside the layout issues, there is a good logical structure and communication here. So you do know how to structure your information, or how to sort of, in what order it needs to come, but you need to organize it in paragraphs. Okay? Also, I'd like you to go back and look at the part of the text where you talk about Martin Lidegaard and Breitenbach, because that there's a transition there, I think, that you're trying to make. And for me, it's a little bit muddled. Are you saying that they are on the same page? Are you saying they're not? Or are you saying kind of yes and no, but? Make that a little bit more obvious to the reader. So signpost a little bit more what you're trying to do. Okay. I think that's about it. No, actually, there's one thing more. In your conclusion, I would like you also to go back and revise that, because you become a little bit vague in terms of your wording. You talk about actors. You talk about multi-department approach, etc. That seems a bit vague. Who are the actors? What departments? This is your conclusion. This is where you need to be assertive and really kind of state what you think. So be a little bit more clear, kind of big up that part of the text so that you position yourself as someone in authority. Really say what you mean. It would seem obvious to me, having read that, the obvious or the logical thing for Denmark to do in the future, or we are never going to be able to do this because so and so and so. So kind of use that type of language in order to really nail down what you think, because it becomes a bit kind of me, I'm not really sure what he's talking about. That was an important point that I wanted to make towards the end here. So in summation, you are more reader-orientated now. Keep that up, because it works for you. Still, you need to focus on paragraphs, one topic sentence per paragraph. Always, always, always. That's it. That was my summary. Write me an email if this doesn't make sense, or grab a hold of me when I see you on the very last Friday of the course. Anyway, take care. Bye.